Hey guys, I'm Lauren Link, sports dietitian for Purdue University Athletics. Whether you're a Division I athlete, a parent shopping for your family, or even a bachelor stocking up on the bare essentials, grocery shopping is something we all do. It's also something a lot of us can do better at in terms of buying healthier food, saving some money, and avoiding having food go bad prematurely. Today I'm here at Meier's new West Lafayette location, and I want to thank Meijer for this opportunity and their continued support of the Boilermakers. Today's goal is to get our carts and our wallets looking a little healthier. Before we actually go in the store though, we have to rewind a little bit. One of the most important steps with grocery shopping is making a list beforehand. Okay, so making a grocery list is one of the most important things we can do in terms of grocery shopping. It not only helps us leave with what we came for, but it also helps us avoid leaving with a bunch of stuff we didn't come for. So my advice is to keep a running list on the fridge or the counter maybe, and if you run out of something, you just write it down, and that's where your list starts, is with those few items that maybe we ran out of during the week. So the first thing I do when I'm writing my grocery list is I think, how much am I gonna need for a week, maybe 2 weeks. If we try to go more than that, we could be getting into a sticky situation with running out of certain items, running out of fresh fruit and produce. So I really try to stick, for me, I go about every week. I always hit produce first. So one of the first things I write is fruits and vegetables. I definitely want to identify some that I know I want to leave the store with. Now I'm thinking I'm moving on through the store, and I know for me, I like packing our lunches for my husband and I'm a big sandwich fan. If I don't have any better ideas, I'm probably making a sandwich of some sort. So I'm gonna hit the deli and get some deli meat. Definitely want to get some bread with that. Then I'm probably heading through the fresh meat section. That is another thing, kind of like the produce, what's on sale. Meat is expensive as proteins, so I'm definitely looking for what's on sale. A staple for me is definitely chicken. If I can find some at a good price, great, I'm definitely putting that in the cart. So then past the fresh meat section, depending on what I find there, I'm gonna wanna hit the dairy products. So milk is another staple item for me. Yogurt, I'm loving the yogurt with my lunches usually. But once I've made it through the dairy section, now I'm thinking about my dry pantry items. These are items that you have to think of as kind of a backup, right? We might have some fresh chicken in the fridge, we might have our produce, but at some point during the week or 2-week cycle, we're gonna run out of those items. Cereal, oatmeal, some of those breakfast type items. Kind of back to lunch again. If I'm running out of my lunch meat idea for sandwiches, personally, I like having some tuna. So if you're an organized person and you have a meal plan, great. We should really base our grocery list around that meal plan. What meals are we gonna make that week? If you're not quite that organized, which I fall into that category, I try to think of a couple meals I might make. In my head right now, I'm thinking maybe I'll make tacos one night and stir fry another night. Both simple meals, not a ton of ingredients required. So I'm gonna definitely wanna get some tortillas. I think I might get some refried beans to go with it. And really, when it comes down to the meal plans, just thinking, what do I want with this meal? I think I already have shredded cheese and sour cream in the fridge, so I don't need to grab those, but you might if you didn't have them already. Stir fry, I'm almost sure I'm out of rice at home, so I'm gonna grab some rice. We already got chicken. So the last thing I put on my list is frozen foods. And I just write that kind of generally because, again, I'm usually looking for any good sales. These might be things like frozen chicken, frozen vegetables, frozen fruit even. They last a long time, they're nutritious, and they're easy, which is nice, right? So frozen foods, I'm just gonna kind of write that down generally, and we'll hit that on the way out of the store. All right, we've got our grocery list. Let's head back to Meijer.
Hi, welcome to Meijer.
Hi. So first things first, I had a balanced breakfast today, and I'm not shopping hungry. That's how we leave the store, with a bunch of stuff we don't really need. I usually start with the perimeter, making sure I'm hitting my produce, my fresh meat and deli, and the dairy sections. Then I'm gonna hit the aisles for my staple pantry items. And produce is by far the biggest thing probably missing from most Americans' diets. So I really like to load up on produce first. Definitely want to hit the fruits and veggies that I wrote down as wanting on my list, right? But I'm always looking for sales. That's one of the easiest ways you can save money in the produce section, is buying in season. Buy the fruit and vegetables that are on sale, and you'll see that money start to add up in savings. Gonna get some bananas that are a little bit green since they go bad pretty quickly. So I found a good sale on mangoes. I'm definitely gonna grab a couple of these. So a few general tips about buying produce. One, we want to vary our cart in terms of what goes bad faster and what lasts longer in our fridge. So some good examples, things like carrots, onion, potatoes, my apples, the mangoes, all of these things are going to last quite a while, at least a week I'd say, maybe 2 or 3. Then we want to have some things that we can eat quicker. So things like my grapes, my strawberries, my bananas, tomatoes, these are all things that I'm going to want to eat first. And that requires a little bit of meal planning, right? So think about those things in terms of avoiding food waste. On my list, I have that I need to get deli meat for sandwiches this week for my lunches, so I'm going to head over to the deli. Hey, hey, coupon. I'm always looking for ways to save a buck. Whole grains. So remember I said to set up our list like the store is laid out? This is nice because now we know chicken is next up, and here we are in the fresh meat department. So just like produce, always look for sales on proteins. Proteins are the most expensive items usually on our list. So definitely, as I'm looking for chicken, I'm happy to see that this is on sale, and I'm more likely to buy more because I can stick that in the freezer and have it for weeks to come. Low-fat dairy can be a great protein source. Cheese for my sandwiches. Gonna grab some yogurt for my lunch this week, and I'm getting the big container because it's a little bit cheaper. If you're using the yogurt as a quick snack during the day, the individual cups might be a better choice. But for me, I'm gonna get the big one. Okay, so now that we've got a nice base of fresh produce, dairy, and meat, now we're gonna hit the aisles for those staple pantry items I was talking about. If you're ever trying to decide, should I get the little box, should I get the big box, and we're trying to do the math in our head, a nice, easy way to do it is to look at the price per ounce, which is listed on the label. So the little box, 31 cents per ounce, just about. The big box, 21 cents per ounce. So I'm gonna go with the big box. So carbohydrates have gotten kind of a bad name lately, but really carbohydrates can be a nice part of a balanced diet. Things like oatmeal, cereal, pasta, rice, quinoa, even our starchy vegetables like corn, potatoes, and peas. All really great ways to work in some carbohydrate in a healthy way to our diet. And for my athletes out there, carbohydrates are essential in fueling our performance. So another money saving tip, buy the store brand. A lot cheaper, pretty much the same in most cases. And if we want to add some more whole grains, we also have whole grain pasta options in the store brand. I'm going to go with the cavatappi because they look fun. Pasta is a great example of an easy fallback meal if we're out of the fresh stuff. And add some chicken or some beef with it, you've got a pretty balanced meal. So buying items like canned tuna can be nice because they're cheap and they're not going to go bad in our pantry. I like to have it in case I run out of my lunch meat during the week. Gonna grab some whole wheat tortillas. Keep mentioning whole wheat, but it's a great way to get in some extra fiber and B vitamins. The dreaded snack aisle. I don't even usually write splurge type items on my list. Maybe allow yourself just one each time you go to the store. So I'm gonna go with a pretty healthy snack with pretzels, right? You could also do popcorn, crackers, things like that. The biggest part about snacking is to not totally limit yourself from things you like, or else you'll probably drive yourself a little bit crazy. So the last thing on my list is frozen foods, and I just kept it pretty generic, partly because frozen food can be kind of a backup at the end of our trip. Maybe chicken wasn't on sale earlier, so maybe I look for some frozen chicken breast. Lucky for me, it was, so I've already got chicken in my cart. So frozen fruit and vegetables can be a really nice source of vitamins and minerals when it comes to produce. And during the winter especially, they're usually cheaper because stuff isn't on sale as much as it is in the summer and spring. All right, we've got everything on our list. Let's go check out. Regardless of where you shop, make sure you join your grocery store's rewards program. Always a good way to save a few extra bucks, at least. So between Meijer's reward program, M-Perks, the specials going on in the store, and a coupon that I used, I saved $16 today. If we look at my total savings since this year, over $1,000. That's crazy. My total was $75.38. That might seem like a lot for just a week, but really if we think about it, my husband and I eat out maybe once a week, So we're talking 20 meals that 7538 is gonna provide. And if we do the math, that comes to $3.77 per meal. That's for 2 people. So if we do that one more time, divided by 2, we're talking less than $2 per meal per person for a whole week. That's pretty good, I'd say. Another thank you to Meyer, and hopefully next time you go grocery shopping, you'll use some of these tips you learned today.